Hey guys, so this is going to be the next page of the Gravity Falls book. That's the page we did before, so I've rubbed it out now as you can see, so it looks prettier. So the next page we're going to do is the hide behind. So obviously there's an illustration and some writing in that one as well. I would have put this one up earlier, but yeah, it's been one of those days. Unfortunately, my rabbit passed away today, so I've been incredibly busy with a lot of that stuff, so that's the only reason it's a bit late going up, but I can go. That's the page we're going to do, and this is just my notes where I've configured what it says basically. So first of all, what I would suggest is I'm getting this again, because I always draw around this, because you've got a little circle in this top right hand corner for like the little red stamp. So just anything around will do to draw around it. So you can see the little, hey, there we go, the little circle, and you need to do, sorry, it means I've got a text. Otherwise it will keep going off. So there we go. You need to do another circle inside this circle. So normally I just draw this from freehand. Once you've got an actual outline of a circle, it's not too difficult. So you've got this one. So basically it looks like that. Then I just want to get my ruler, because you need to draw a triangle in the middle. And then inside the triangle you just need to do a couple of little lines, so and then a full stop on the outside. So that's what the little stamp's meant to look like. I will go over that in red at the end, so as I normally do. So obviously you then need to do the title, which is The Hide Behind. The is slightly more elevated, so I would say that needs to go about there, and then I need to put hide behind, needs to go just underneath there, so but not diagonally. Only reason I'm drawing a line is because, again, these pages have so much inside them. Obviously I've got to do a big picture here, then I've got a picture, more writing, a picture, writing. So I definitely work out, you know, where you're going to put things, because otherwise that's when it kind of goes wrong. So again, always do everything. I would do everything in pencil first, for the reason being that it's 10 times easier if you make a mistake, just to rub it out. And again, I will go over this writing once I've done it all. So I'm just going to do the outline first. And some of the letters I have to admit, like the T here, wouldn't be normally how I would personally do a T. But obviously, this is the way it's done in the book. So that's why I've done it like this. I will say, obviously, again, this whole book, because I do get a lot of people say this to me, obviously, the book I'm doing is, where is that ink coming from? It's literally my interpretation of the book. So it's not necessarily 100%, and I don't put on, I never turn around to you guys and I never say to you guys it's 100%, this is exactly accurate. I can't say that word. But it, you know, I never turn around to you guys and say that, and I would never say that to you guys, because I can't promise you that it is 100% true to the book. This is just what I have read into it, what I deem as being right. So it's like if you guys did a book and it was different, then it would be your interpretation of it. So again, this is just what I conceive as personally being right. So so that's just for anyone, obviously, because I've got quite a few people that have told me that there are tiny bits wrong or the illustrations aren't to 100%, etc. So that's fair enough. I respect your opinion, and it's absolutely fine. But this is a fan made book basically, and I don't mean to be rude, but I don't believe anyone's fan made book, including mine, is 100%. The only person that could make 100% would be Alex, the creator of this, because he knows exactly what he's put in the show and in the books. So that's just my little, I guess, disclaimer for you guys in this video. Sorry about the rant. It's just obviously I've got quite a few comments recently about how it's not perfect, and there's, I think in my original book, on my first major YouTube video that I did, actually I was really surprised that it did as well as it did, and it's still doing really well. With the original book that I made, I added the amulet page, and it's not in book 3, but I added it generally because I just like that page because it was my fan made book. But I've got a lot of people tell me that's not in the book and stuff like that. So yes, obviously when I have finished doing this book entirely with these videos, etc., I will be, as I've previously said in other videos, putting this book up for a competition. So the competition will just be like basically, I guess, a draw out the hat, which I will do live on a video, hopefully, a video link for you guys to see. And it will literally be whatever name I put out the hat will be lucky enough to win the book for free. So that will be one thing to obviously keep tuned in for. It will just be obviously the whole book when it's finished. So I do understand as well, my original book, series 2, wasn't out at the time when I made it. So there will be extra pages that will be added into this book than there wasn't originally added into my original. So because you've got the 3 ghost pages, so you've got, obviously it's like casual, something else and something else. But so that'll be there as well. So that's my title, and it looks a bit strange at the moment because I've gone around to the 2 lines because that's what it is like in there, but it's only because I need to colour it in. So I said I'll do that at the end. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my normal pen that I always use, and I'm going to do some writing here, just so I know that I've got it in, because then I can do the picture underneath in the right amount of space. So I'll tell you what it says once I've written it like normal. So you just got a tiny bit of writing there, and that bit actually says the illusion of the hide behind. The illustration of the hide behind. The hide behind. Sorry, he hides behind the shadow of man. It's like a tongue twister, I swear. So that was meant for me to say. Sorry, the illustration of the hide behind. He hides behind the shadow of man. That is really a tongue twister. Right, so next, underneath that, you need to do like 2 little feet. So they are meant to look 3D, obviously, like they've been freshly trodden into mud. So what I did, especially in the other book I did as well, was this. So I copied the original shape. that's what the shape looks like. And then if you just draw around them again, I don't know if you can kind of see this. I'm trying to have a look. There. I'm trying to work out. Right, I'll show you what. No, that didn't work, did it? I'll show you what I've done afterwards. I'll do it piece by piece. I will show you. So the next bit, what I would normally do is if you draw, I'm just draw a little line there, then round. Like that to make it 3D, and then it's got a couple of digs and grooves in it because it's mud, and then there's obviously this one has got shading in the picture around the feet as well, so just don't forget to do that bit as well. So there's the difference between the 2 feet. So that one I've obviously done an extra line around the outside and done some lines in the middle. I've shaded inside it as well and done some lines done this bit here and done the lines there. I've also shaded around the outside. So that's the difference. That's how I've made that one look 3D compared to the original one. So again, just do exactly the same thing. So I need a line there. A line there. There you go, that is my illustration of the footprints, and then all you need to do is a little arrow, point into them like so, and it needs to say in capital letters footprints with an exclamation mark at the end. So that is that part. So excuse me. Underneath that bit you've got kind of like 2 drawings, but they're kind of joined together-ish in a way. Kind of. So let's have a little look. What I'm going to do actually, because I need to leave at least that much room so I can do the right in there. The other picture needs to go there. And that big hefter, never been seen thing. Oh. I've got on with me. Be back in 2 seconds to grab something. The other two drawings I'm going to draw outright, but I'm going to, again, just in case anyone didn't see the little technique, in case you aren't very good at drawing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly show you that technique again, just in case you didn't, and I hope obviously this technique, if you aren't very good at drawing, will help you out in a lot of different ways. Yeah, the other drawings I'll draw by hand, because if you're going to do this technique, you only need to see it once. So it's always good then, if you're going to do this, obviously, to print the page out, screenshot the page and then print it out. Yeah, this particular way is just good for anyone that isn't necessarily good with drawing. I normally just draw it by freehand, but I just think this will help so many people. And I obviously showed it in a couple of videos previous, and obviously I'm thinking if you haven't seen that video, this will generally really help you. So I don't need to do that much. So, 2 seconds. Obviously, normally if you're going to do this, say for instance you're going to do this for the hide behind for this particular page, then I would suggest, if you're really that bad at drawing, maybe cutting the fingers out, but I'm not necessarily that bad at drawing, so I did art as a degree, so I'm not too bad, hopefully, cross my fingers. So if you're not very good with drawing, this is the technique. So cut out the picture that you wish to draw. So obviously, for instance, you're going to be drawing the hide behind. So this is what he looks like. I haven't cut his fingers out, like I said. If you want to, then please do. What you do is you place him in the area you want him to be drawn. And then if you hold him down, obviously don't move because otherwise it will ruin it. Basically, trace round the picture. So for us, this is the hide behind again. So trace round him where you have cut out the picture. I'm just going to leave that bit a bit blank because I obviously haven't cut out the fingers. There we go. So I'm used to doing this. I've just moved it. Yeah, obviously be careful not to move it because you'll then not know exactly where the lines are meant to be. So there's that. Go around that bit. Sorry, I'm just really doing this really quickly. Right, so then what you'll be left with the outline of the shape. And if you're not very good at drawing, then it is pretty good, because then what you can do is you can put the picture, I've just put it there so I can see it, and then what you do is just go around the outside again, obviously freehand this is, and obviously redraw it, and then this will also build your confidence up as well, you know, looking at what you've drawn, etc. So go around the doodle. obviously the hide behind has a question mark in the middle, so I will do that in a moment. I'm just going to quickly draw the fingers in. I'll feed you in a minute, Mist. Sorry, that's the cat. So that is my version of the hide behind, because as I've traced it, because obviously it's kind of like tracing with that. So the hide behind has a question mark kind of on his belly. I guess it's his belly. So make sure you draw the question mark first. And then he is quite shaded in the sense of, you'll see in a moment. He's quite shaded in the sense of he's really dark at this base back, at the back of him, but at this bit. But this front bit, he's actually quite, he's not necessarily, he's kind of like faded. So start off at the back of him. Yeah, so this, for instance, this arm gets to be completely coloured in, shaded in, should I say. And whoops, I think obviously at the bottom of his feet as well, you want it to be coming out of the shadings, to be coming out of his feet. I'll show you what I mean in a moment. So that's the main part of it, and then it's kind of run this bit. So I want to do it darker along this line. That's what I want. Sorry. There we go. Right, so that is what my hide behind looks like. So as you can see, I've shaded him in, and there's some lighter colours compared to the darker colours at the top as well. Obviously, you can see his shadow is coming out by his legs also. You've got a small bit of text just to right here, which says the unseen shadow of a man. So we'll do that bit quickly. So that just goes in that bit. So next, underneath, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it needs to be so written under there, which says never been seen. So I would say not obviously use a thicker pen for this, but I'm going to write it in pencil first, like I normally do. So let's have a look. We'll start over there. That went a bit wrong. It is all in cap blocks or capital again. So let's have a look. Never. See, once I've actually gone over it in pen, it will look better. Exclamation mark at the end. Need to make sure I go like that and underline it. So that is where that is meant to live. So you've got 2 more drawings to do. So you've got a very small drawing here to do, which is like a little face behind some stones. So we will do the stones first. And a little bit of shading on them as well they've got, which is quite nice. And a little pebble there. And then I've got a little bit of grass. You've got 2 more little pebbles. Another stone, another bit of grass. And then you've just got his little face popping out. So that is the first little drawing. So as you can see, it's just some stones with some little grass and pebbles and a little face hiding behind it. So that's where, do his face like that, where that lives. And then next to it here, what we need to do is, first of all, a tree. So it's quite a barren tree. And I have to admit, the one thing I'm not very good at drawing is trees and hands. I think everyone has their things that they're good at and things that they're not. So first of all, there's my tree. It doesn't matter if it goes quite close to the other drawing, it is meant to be quite close to the other drawing anyway. And then you just need to do like a little kind of shadow of a man next to it. So let's have a look. And again, you can see his two little eyes looking at you. So let me just colour him in. Right, so the next thing I'm going to quickly do is go over Never Been Seen in just the black pen that I originally showed you. If I pick the one that damn works, it would help. Apparently not. So many blooming pens. Where's that pen gone? Where's the red one that I need? Oh, there it is. Yay, found it. So just go over this in, it's like a black felt tip basically, just to make it thicker and stand out more. And don't forget to go over this bit as well. And I'm doing this bit now so that, because I've got some writing to do underneath this, to make sure that I get it in the right place basically. So I'm just going to write the writing underneath, and then again I'll tell you what it says. I need, this is another tip. See, if you're writing like that, it's going to go off because it's not the right level, so I lean on something so I'll, you know, it's the right level. So let's have a look. So what that last bit there says is, somehow just always out of sight, the elusive creature is said to follow humans and make animal sounds. He could be behind you right now, with an exclamation point at the end. So then I'm going to turn it up the other way so I can colour these bits in without basically ruining the bits that I've already done. So I'm going to first of all go over the red, the stamp, sorry, with red marker. And I just need to go over, oh, sugar, the writing I did at the top at the beginning.